The game in Magic Chess starts at the hero selection, where 8 players pick from 11 blue heroes, also called 3 gold heroes. These blue heroes are relatively difficult to obtain in the early game, so picking the right one in the hero selection can go a long way. Many lineups or team comps are also particular about the starting hero. I see a lot of people ignoring the starting hero and cancer building lineups that they didn't start with. This happens a lot when it is a meta lineup, like 4 people building Archer even though I started with 1-1. Not only does this make life harder for me, it makes life harder for them since we are all competing for the same heroes. This competition is unnecessary though, as it can be avoided if people just build with what they start with. Unfortunately, a lot of people only know how to build with Karina or Lancelot, that is their Astro Power 1 tricks. If they fail to get either of these two, they would rather surrender than build anything else. Or if they don't surrender, they would sell whatever they started with and build the Astro Power from the scratch. Is Astro Power really that much fun to play? As a result of this, I have decided to start this new series called Master the Hero Selection: How to Build with Every Starting Hero in Magic Chess Season 14. In this series, I will play as many games as I can with each of the starting heroes and design a most efficient strategy for playing with those starting heroes. This way, if for some reason you had to pick Masha in the hero selection, you won't rage quit anymore. As I've always done, I will discuss the lineup at length and explain the steps to take in building them. This series might become a seasonal series as the meta changes every season, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on. This first episode will cover Atlas and the best strategy to use for him. One thing I must mention, however, is that I will be playing with Rhea skill 1 in all the videos in the season 14 series, as that is my main commander skill for this season. I will try my best to suggest a way to use other commander skills for the strategy wherever possible. In the off chance Rhea skill 1 cannot be used due to an absence of crystals, which is going to be very rare considering the number of crystals we have in the game now, I will use Fanny skill 3. With that out of the way, let the series begin. Master the Hero Selection Season 14 Part 1 Atlas. Atlas is a 3 gold nature spirit weapon master. His skill Annihilates generates frigid breath around him for 3 seconds, freezing enemies that remain within the area for 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, and 3.5 seconds. Atlas is not a carry hero like a lot of other blue heroes, as his skill does not even do any damage. The crowd control is very nice, however, as his mana requirement is very low: 25 initial mana requirement and 75 subsequent mana requirement. Let's go back to his synergies. As mentioned, Atlas does not do any damage with his skills and as such cannot be a weapon master. I don't know on what basis he was added to this synergy. I don't think anyone would complain if the Nature Spirit synergy had 2 guardians. But hey, since the option is here, why not use it to buff his other synergy, which is the more important one, the Nature Spirit. Picking Atlas in first building the Nature Spirit lineup, but with what at the side? Weapon Master? Yes, that is the most ideal option. Unfortunately though, neither has a crystal, so that option is fairly closed off when using Rhea skill 1. I strongly recommend building it directly like that though when playing with any commander skill, that is, Nature Spirit plus Weapon Master. So anyway, we now have the Mage Crystal. We can build Nature Spirit and Mage, and because Julian is a Weapon Master, we can still trigger 3 Weapon Master at least for the region. The new Mage synergy adds 20% spell vamp to Mage heroes. Perfect for Nature Spirit, won't you say? The final synergy with this lineup is 6 Nature Spirits, 6 Mage, 3 Weapon Master, and 3 Necro Keep. I call this lineup the Kadita Eudora Mage lineup. Weak name, I know, but cut me some slack, this is episode 1. I'll get used to naming episodes by episode 5 or 6 or 11. I won't bother too much with theoretical stuff like I usually do, so let's just get right into the game. After picking Atlas, the ideal situation is for you to get either Eudora and Mia or Roger and Mia as your starting lineup. But of course, this happens very rarely, if ever at all. You would just have to make do with whatever you are given until you get what you need. The first 3 heroes you need to add to Atlas are Mia, Eudora, and Roger. The first hurdle to clear is the battle spell selection. The best battle spell for Nature Spirit is undoubtedly Revitalize to recover some HP during the round. Flicker is another good option for Eudora, Roger, Mia, or Kadita. I personally always pick Revitalize though if it is available. If not, Flicker, Aegis, Purify in that order. As for the Fate boxes and Creep Defense rounds, prioritize Enchanted Talisman, Concentrated Energy, just get all the mage items except Winter Truncheon. It's not necessary for Nature Spirit. If mage items are not available, then pick tank items which add HP or the Oracle. If none of them are available, then the Golden Staff and Has Claws are priority. You should be able to get at least one of all these if you were not cursed at the start of the game by the other guy who wanted to pick Atlas. I'll talk more about the items later. At the start of the placement stage, use the commander's skill Petal Stars on Faramis to get a Mage Crystal. Don't use it on Cyclops as you could potentially get the Saber Crystal. Equip the Mage Crystal on Eudora. The Mage Synergy now gives 20% Spell Vamp, which will be crucial to sustaining the Nature Spirit early game. The ideal scenario is to have Atlas, Eudora, Mia, Roger and Faramis deployed. You can have Cyclops too. In all honesty though, this early lineup is very weak. You might be able to win a round in placement, but the chance of winning are very slim, which is fine. We are playing for the mid to late game. The fun can begin when you get the Nature Spirit Star Core. Add Belleric at commander level 6 and the synergy combo would be 6 Nature Spirit and 2 Mage with Eudora Mage. The new reroll feature, which allows you to reroll Star Cores in hopes of getting a better one, is one of the most double-edged swords you'll ever see in this game. If you are not careful, you might exchange a decent core for a terrible one. This is my recommendation for it. Create a hierarchy for all the Star Cores of the synergy you want to pick. For example, with Nature Spirit, the Star Core priority is Mystic, Wind, Earth, Thunder, Water, Fire, and Dark. You of course want to always get Mystic, and this is the most important core for Mia. However, Wind and Earth are just as good. Thunder is also a decent one. Therefore, if you get Mystic, Wind, or Earth, do not reroll. With Thunder, there isn't much to lose by rerolling, so you can risk if you want. But if you get Water, Fire, or Dark, always reroll. As I said, Mystic is the highest priority Nature Spirit Star Core. The carrier of the Star Core enters Elven form for 5 seconds after dying once. In Elven form, they gain 99% damage reduction, 50% lifesteal, and 25% extra damage. With the Golden Staff and Demon Hunter Sword, Mia can very easily wipe a full team in the Elven state. While this lineup is supposed to be a mage core, Mia is necessary for Nature Spirit to prosper. That is why the possibility of picking attack speed items is there, especially that Golden Staff. Wind is the second highest priority Nature Spirit Star Core. The attack speed of the carrier is increased by 2% for every 1% drop in HP. Essentially, the attack speed is increased by 100% when HP drops to 50%, and is increased by 198% when the HP drops to 1%. Equip this core on Mia with Has Claws and Golden Staff to increase the sustainability of the Nature Spirit. Earth is the final acceptable Nature Spirit Star Core. The carrier converts 60% of the damage dealt into HP. This core is good for Mia as she is the most stable DPS, but if Eudora has good items, it can be equipped on her. The other cores are fairly underwhelming, so you can just equip them on any hero. After getting past the Star Core selection and activating the 6 Nature Spirit synergy, the game begins. How the game progresses from here depends on a few factors. The first is Mia. If Mia has very good items, a good Star Core and a decent star level, you won't struggle too much. The second is Eudora. If you get good mage items, that is, Enchanted Talisman or Concentrated Energy, your team would be able to sustain a decent amount. I'm going to assume everybody uses my commander level progression, so I will continue the game on that assumption. The next thing is to get to commander level 7 and add Cyclops. Even if you didn't start with Mia and Eudora or Roger, at this point the team should be complete. That is Belleric, Atlas, Roger, Eudora, Faramis, Cyclops and Mia. That is, your synergy should be 6 Nature Spirits and 3 Mage. The next step is to replace Belleric with Kadita, so don't upgrade him too deep. I should also mention that the core heroes of this lineup are Mia, Eudora and Kadita, so focus your upgrading power on them, that is, try to get them to 3 stars. From the second Fate box upward, you should try to get a Science Crystal. It is required for the final stage of this lineup. Other than that, just pick the other items as you usually would. The first 2 rounds of the showdown stage are the most decisive of all in my opinion. If the early game was very bad, you have to survive these 2 rounds so you can get to commander level 8 and build the maximum level of the lineup. You also need to get Kadita in this time. If your early game was not very strong, I hope you got to pick a science crystal at least. If you did, you don't have to worry about going to commander level 8 if you are not sure you will make it. Kadita is not the only rare hero you need to find from this point on. Julian and Leomord are also necessary. Julian to complete the mage synergy and Leomord to trigger 3-weapon master. When you upgrade to commander level 8, add Julian and replace Beleric with Kadita. This will increase the mage synergy counter to 5. This way you can activate the 6 mage synergy after picking the mage star core. All mage cores are going on Kadita irrespective of what they do. However, the order of priority is wind, earth, water, fire, thunder, arcana. In reality though, all the cores are okay, I just don't like arcana. Kadita makes the water core look very nice. She has to get 2 kills to cast her skill twice with the wind core, but she has enough damage to make it work. Now we have reached the end game. You can end the game here if you feel like you can't survive much longer and need to spend your gold upgrading the team. You can only feel comfortable really if your Kadita is 2 stars at least. Until then, try to get her to 2 stars and then you can decide to save up for the final level. If you got a science crystal, you can add Leomord. If you get to commander level 9 and have a science crystal, you can add Vexana to trigger Necro Keep. This is my recommended formation for this strategy. The general idea of the arrangement is to ensure Kadita can cast her skill as quickly as possible, which is why she is placed alone on the front row. Placing melee heroes on B3 and F3 means that at the start of the round, any heroes that don't face Kadita would face them instead, effectively protecting the others. The nature spirit heroes are also placed near each other to reduce the chances of one of them getting isolated. As usual, Mia takes her best position on D2. There is a slight variation when Necro Keep is added. However, the only real difference is that Vexana and Leomord are now beside Kadita. The rest of the formation does not change. If anything is to change about this formation, it will be placing every hero except Mia, Faramis and Cyclops on the front row for a more aggressive siege on enemies. You can also use this formation when you get the Oracle item. Finally, here's an overall rating of the strategy. It does very well against squishy team comps that Kadita can one-shot. It does very badly against very high attack speed team comps. It cannot do much against Prince, for example, unless Kadita somehow manages to burst down Moskov and Dairo. Until you get Kadita 2, there are so many synergies you normally should be able to handle, but will struggle against. One part that surprised me was how I was able to win against a Mystic Burial plus Mage with a 3-star Kagura using this lineup. This is most likely due to the extra spell bump from the Mage synergy added to the insane damage Kadita can dish out. If nothing else, this feat is enough for me to rate this lineup a comfortable 7.5 out of 10. Next time you pick Atlas in the selection stage, build the Kadita Eudora lineup. What do you think of this lineup? Have you tried it? Which other starting heroes do you want to see? Leave a comment now. Support the series, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.